I am live, and apparently there's 5 people here and 2 thumbs up already. That is mental. Good evening, everybody. Or well, how's it going? You are welcome to Woody's World Live here on Friday night. It is only when you go live that you realize that your glasses are absolutely rotten dirty. So, there's them back on. Now the crazy eyes, crazy eyes, crazy eyes. Okay, Tom, how is it going? Let me have a quick look at what is going on in the community section on the page, and we'll see where everybody thinks. I've already done all that. Where everybody thinks we are. Let us check. Let us check. Let us check. Let us check. Pistachio ice cream. I'm much happy. Okay, so that is a really good thing. Okay, so let us talk about that. That seems like a good topic, and definitely seems like something that I have a bit of knowledge on. Okay, so basically, here's the crack. I don't know where we are. I don't think we've got as far as P, Pappy. I really don't. I think we could be L or M, right? But let me see now. Tom has an issue, right? Tom has an issue there. The driest you can season wood to undercover outdoors. Tom, where are you? Where are you? Remind me again. Simon, how's it going? Peterson's Farms. Pete, how's it going? Simon. I can pretty much get Ballyclare. Okay. Wow. That's on the sea, isn't it? Is Ballyclare on the coast? Dog's doing something downstairs. I don't remember, Simon. I don't remember. So I can get my FUD to my FUD. I can get my FUD. I can get my wood to about 14 outside. That is sometimes a year, but a lot of times it's not a year seasoning. It's about 8 to 12 months, I'm going to say, and I can get it to 14. The stuff that I have at the side of the house doesn't get as dry as the stuff I have at the back of the house, but the stuff at the back of the house is south facing, and I think that's the difference. So what sort of wood are you burning, or what sort of wood is it, Tom? Wow, 20% moisture after 3 to 4 years. That's a lot. How do you cover it? So, as far as I know, and from my own experience, what has happened with me is that in the beginning, I covered my stuff over with a lorry siding. And when I covered it at the start, I had the lorry siding just lying on top of the wood, right? And Chippy, thank you very much, buddy. Marlon, how's it going? And what happened? I understand. Yes. I would love an open-sided hay shed. I would love even the roof of it to put down a red branch. No problem, Chippy, man. No problem. Don't feel under pressure, just to come in and watch this. It's just me rabbiting on about random stuff. Plenty of airflow but no sun. You see, my stuff would be the same, Tom. Plenty of airflow and no sun, and I can very, very easy get it down. I just, it doesn't make. How big are you splitting it? I generally find I would split some bigger stuff. I would keep my biggest stuff about this size. Some of it I keep like maybe 5 inches square. If I'm splitting it with the saw, I go for that. And then what I can do is I can use that stuff to That'll be the big stuff that you throw in the fire. You know, at this time of night, you throw it on the fire and you just leave it there all evening and let it just sort of tip away. See, I wouldn't be that. You know, I wouldn't say having sun is that important. I would say airflow is more important, and it's not like you're covering it over. Jesus, I don't understand that at all, Tom. 20%. Have you tried different moisture meters? It could be your meter. Try splitting some smaller. Stack the smaller ones and see if they're drying faster. I know obviously the smaller it's split, the faster. Why is there still flies? Why is there still flies about? Wayne, how's it going? There's loads of flies about. Do you remember I got stung the other whatever week that was? Well, I was down on Red Branch yesterday. I was down there today as well. But I was down there and there is still loads of wasps about. Why is there loads of flies? Why is there loads of wasps? It's cold now. I don't understand. Oh, you have 3 moisture meters. Sorry, Tom. I couldn't remember what I was talking about there. Mark, how's it going? So, Mark, you're leaving your stuff out and then bringing it into the woodshed. Whereas mine goes straight into the woodshed. Yeah, that is a really interesting one. I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me. It should just be drying and drying and drying. Always drying until it can basically dry no more. What would be the lowest? What would be the lowest moisture content you think you could get firewood if it's sitting outside? Sorry, I have something here I need to cut. Do you know what I mean? So the smaller it's split, the faster it's going to dry. I don't understand why it's not drying for you past 20%. And so when you bring it into the house, oh, how many rows are you stacking it in? Butler's Outdoor, how's it going? I know, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why is there still flies about? It's just crazy. So, if you have enough distance to get your hand in between the stacks, it's enough. Do you know what I mean? It's enough airflow. My shed is closed off on one side as well, and but I don't stack right to the wall. I have a pallet in between the wall and my stack, so that there's airflow behind my stack as well. A brother from another mother from another province, even Providence. Okay, so yeah, I don't know. That is really interesting. That is. Oh, what did I do? I did something. So, Tom, what does it go down to when you take it in? Chip there, how's it going? Mine is about, I'm going to say in and around the 15 mark, 15 to 18. But then I take it inside and it might sit inside for a week before it gets burnt. But with the way things are going, with the crappy old price of fuel and diesel and stuff like that, I am burning more. So I am, if we're here, if my wife is working from home, what I'll do is I will light the fire at 7 o'clock in the morning and just sort of keep it tipping over all day. I won't really push it too hard. Not bad. I did a video once about moisture meters. I did. I give. Okay. I did a video about moisture meters, right? And oh my God, did it bring them out? Jesus Christ! And they were going off about how what sort of a firewood guy was I if I needed a moisture meter to test my firewood. This was the train of thought that people were going. Somebody actually said this guy actually said that this guy would be better off using that moisture meter to stick it in my eye to test the moisture content of my eyes. Something along those lines. It really brought out a lot of bad attitude in people. Like I was like, it's just a moisture meter. If people are getting into firewood, it's important that they have a moisture meter, especially if they're buying firewood. You see, Simon, that's advanced stuff. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It's just like people get behind the computer. I'm going to say what I want, and there's no repercussions, because they're not going to get a slap on the mouth. So this is the way it is. But for me, I find a moisture meter is very important, especially like my mother bought firewood there. I have firewood here for her, but it wasn't ready, so she bought firewood, and she bought what we would call a ton bag. It's not a ton weight, but it's called a ton bag of firewood. So, Stuart, I'll come back to that. So what I did was I tested the wood that this guy had brought her, and it was okay. It was over 20, but I was stacking it for her anyway, so I was happy enough that it would be dry by the time she burnt it. So for the likes of that, it is important. Firewood in Ireland is absolutely shocking. It's crap. They sell the worst wood you can buy, expensive, and it's wet. Okay, so well, you see, this is the thing, Mark. That's where you're getting into the level of your kiln dried firewood, and that's expensive, man. Expensive. Yes, smiling nod. Yay, thanks for the excellent comment. That's what I say. If somebody's been a real dick, I will come back and give them the nicest reply that I can. So especially if somebody says something personal about me, something that you're just like, right, hang on a second, this is obviously completely mental. This man is probably wearing his mother's skin, So I will come back and say, oh my God, thank you very much for the amazing comment, Sometimes it works. Actually, was I talking about this the other night? It's hard to remember. After last week's live feed, I recorded a podcast on the Saturday night that went on for 4 hours. So I'm a bit mixed up into what we were talking about last weekend. So I've actually had two guys come back to me recently and apologize for their first comment, and one of them was like 9 months later, and this guy came back and he says, I'm just rereading your reply, and I'm rereading the comment that I left in your video, and I have to say I'm very sorry for what I said. I must have been having a bad day or something at the time, but I was like, don't worry, it doesn't matter. See, that's nice, Tom. I'd like to be able to do that. I would say, okay, Stuart, the way I do it, right? The way that I do it, and what I find works best, is that I have a stove with a back boiler in it, right? So what that means is that it heats the water as it burns. So the closer I can get my wood to the side of my stove, the more efficient it is at heating the water and heating the radiators and all that there sort of stuff. So my stove is 22 inches wide, but if I'm burning 20-inch pieces of wood, right, it's too difficult to stack them. They're too long. Whereas if I'm burning 16 to 18 inches pieces of wood, I can get them 3 rows deep in all my sheds. But if I'm doing them 20, 21 inches, I can't, they don't fit. So that's why I burn them a little bit bigger, or I cut them a little bit shorter. So about 16 or 18 inches, and I split them every way. I split ones like that thick, ones this thick. I just split them as they naturally split. I don't think too much about it. What I'll do is the small ones burn fast and they burn hot. The pine burns fast and it burns hot as well. So I'll be mixing them hardwood, softwood all the time. But that's because I have that luxury. I can do that at the minute. So when I am stacking my wood piles, I will stack monthly. So at the minute, especially the one at the side of the house, because I know roughly how long each bay will last. And each bay is about 1 3/4. So what I'll do is the very first row I start burning is usually September, October, right? So it is softwood, it is a little bit of hardwood and stuff like that. And then I'll get into the next row and there's a wee bit more hardwood, and into the next row when you're getting into October, November, more hardwood. And then the middle bay itself, that full thing is as much hardwood as I can get into it, because that's the heavy winter burning. And then I'll move on to the next one and it's hardwood, softwood, and then more softwood. And that's generally the way I do it. Hang on. Yeah, I know, Tom. It's a bit of a double-edged sword, isn't it? It's nice to have the firewood. It's not nice to lose the trees. But are you replanting? This is it. I need trees. I have a 1/4 or 1/3 full bay at the back for next year, and I need wood to fill it. I don't have anything at the minute at all. I have some stuff up the mountain, that mountain wood. I still haven't got back to get that. So I was hoping to get it Monday. I thought you Canadians were all lovely people. All very friendly and nice and calm and collected. People say that about the Irish, but the Irish are, a lot of Irish people are dicks. Not me, of course. I'm a wonderful person. Guys, everybody has their moments, don't they? It's not really a case of they're nice and they're not. But that is Conky Holio. Hang on a second here. Half French and half Filipino. Are you a good cook? Is that like just completely stereotyping you there, Chippy? White ash trees. We only have one variety of ash trees here, as far as I'm aware. Conky Holio. Is that you, Peppy? Mail to Canada. Oh, Jesus, hang on. Mail to Canada in a box. You're going to have to explain that one, Butler. Come on. Mail to Canada in a box. From whereabouts in Ireland, do you know? Mark, sometimes I do and sometimes I don't. Generally, what I find is that if I shut everything down and just let it sort of tick away, if I'm getting up in the morning and I'm burning again, I have to clean the glass and stuff like that. So we haven't got to that cold yet, but then we never really do. So it's very rare that we would have like 5 days of minus temperatures. Oh, Jesus. A box baby. It's what they did with all those. Yeah, there's massive scandal in Ireland about that. Benjamin, we don't remember. We don't remember what the letter is. It's a bit of a free for all, so feel free to throw out a comment. At the minute we have been talking about firewood and drying processes of firewood, and we've been talking about relevant sizes for burning and for storing firewood. And that's something that I think people don't think about. is if you're cutting your firewood to a certain length, it just takes up more storage space. And for me, it's not something that I had ever considered. Pappy's lost it. Pappy's lost it. There's going to be a row. He's at home punching himself in the face. No way. Brilliant. Brilliant, Butler. Brilliant. It's crazy. Well, no, it's not crazy. Sorry. That's crazy. But it's like, it's something I never considered. I never thought that, oh, my shed needs to be so long, right? So that I can get 1, 2, 3, 4 rows into it, you know? So, I would love one of those big open sheds like what Tom has. That would be amazing. Imagine just stacking your firewood and making your walls out of firewood every year. It would be unreal. Listen, before Pappy says it, or Conky Holio, guys, get those thumbs up going there. Oh, I know what we were supposed to talk about. I remember what we were supposed to talk about. And I was supposed to research this, but then I didn't research it. Really, Benjamin? Really? So you oven cook the wood first to dry it, which is just the same as kiln drying it, isn't it? Oh. I've seen people dry wood. Well, mostly it's for a specific reason. My uncle used to have a big kiln up in his shed. My uncle who owned the 181. Now he didn't do it for firewood. He used it for he did a lot of work with reclaimed timber. So we would have dried out flooring and stuff like that. Good man, Pappy. So we were actually supposed to talk about prepping tonight. Prepping versus self-reliance. That was supposed to be tonight's topic of conversation, but I sort of forgot. And I was going to research it. And what we can do, seeing we have a fair few of you guys on from Canada and from the States, maybe that is something we can touch on. Guys, if you don't want to talk about it, we won't talk about it. We'll talk about something else. But let's throw it out there. Prepping versus self-reliance. Is there a difference, or are they the same animal? Are the two heads of the same beast? It's something. Is prepping easier than self-reliance, or is self-reliance easier? Is self-reliance easier than prepping? That's something that I am unsure of. Well, no, I tell you what I think. I think that it depends on your circumstances. It depends on where you are. So if you are living in a city, if you're living in a city, self-reliance is not really a doable option. But prepping is, because you can prepare, you can store. To me, okay, let's talk about prepping. Let's talk about what is prepping. Well, there's a question to you. What is prepping? Put it in the comments. Let's see what people think. What is prepping? I'll be interested in this now. To you, there's no right or wrong in this. When I say to you, what is prepping? What do you think? And silence. And Wally sits here waiting. Prepping is preparing. Okay? Kids are watching Stranger Things. Getting as many man cards in the back pocket. What's a man card? only if it's dehydrated ice cream, Pappy. Okay, yeah, I get you. I get you, shapeshifter. Nah, man, just use mullein leaves. They're amazing. Amazing toilet roll. Yeah, I'm with you, Simon. Weapons, ammunition, pistachio ice cream. True Butler. Twitter will be currency. Right. Okay. So look, this is what I think prepping is. Ooh, that would be tough, man. That would be tough. Freeze the whole of you. You'd be freeze holio. So look, prepping to me is stockpiling, basically. Do you see that fly? Is stockpiling. Okay. So it is stockpiling enough equipment, resources, water, food, precious metals, brass and gunpowder and ammo and lead and all those things. Our lifetime supply of ramen noodles. Yes. Guys, that's to me what prepping is, right? So self-sufficiency is more about learning skills, isn't it? Anybody can prep. Any family can prep. Any dad, husband, whatever can prep. They can go out and start stockpiling stuff and building it up. Yes. I think 22 ammo would be the currency for the apocalypse. You know, instead of $10, it'll be 10 rounds of ammo or 5 rounds of ammo. So that's what I think. So that is, to me, that is the difference. So self-sufficiency is a longer route, right? Prepping is something that everybody can do. Self-sufficiency, you need to have land where you can grow, land where you can live, land that you can, you know, harvest food from, get your calories from, you know, create the water you need, create the electricity you need, or if you need any, and do all those sorts of things. That's self-sufficiency. Prepping is filling a bunker full of food. Yes. A gold armor plated compact tractor. That's what I'll be getting. Well, I might just get a normal compact tractor and then do an A-team job in it. You know, get stuck in a shed. You know, the baddies get me and they lock me in a shed. And in that shed, there just happens to be a welder, a load of plate iron, you know, like, you know, miniguns, all that sort of stuff. And BA is there and he welds everything together, and then we bust out and shoot everybody, make a tank, basically. A golden armored plated tank. Killdozer. A woolly dozer, we'll call it. It's like the killdozer, except it won't work, and it'll be made of wood, and it'll be held together with 8,000 screws. 8,000 screws. Guys, there's another thing that I was at today. Let me just go. I was down at the cabin today. Can you believe I was down at the cabin? It has been so long since I've got anything done in the cabin whatsoever. Hey, oh my God, let me just I ain't getting no damn airplane, you crazy fool. Canning and preserving, yes, exactly, guys. And you guys in the States or in the Canadas are so much better at this stuff than us. Do you know what I mean? It's something that we touched on last week when I was talking with Steve. So it's possibly something that I look at when I'm up in his place as well. I still haven't set a date for that, you know. So yeah, it was a nice day. I was working today, but goddamn work getting in the way of my life. I tell you what, never stops. I'm working tomorrow and Sunday as well. I'm off Monday. I'm working Friday. I'm working 6 days a week at the minute. We sure do. We sure do. And here's a secret. You cook it forever. You just keep cooking it. You put everything in it. It doesn't matter. We put Guinness in it, you know, everything. water. A Berkeley filter. Was that the inline filter he was talking about for the rainwater? You see, this is the thing, Butler, right? So we had, if you cook something for long enough, it kills everything in it. Taste, you know, bacteria, worms, everything that's in the gone off meat, taste, you know, kills it all. Do you shifter? Nice. No, it's not a cabin, it's a shed, basically. So at the minute, that was one of my big one of my biggest videos, I'm gonna say. Let me see. I spent a really long time I don't even know if I could find this now. No, that is not what I'm doing. Your videos. I'm doing the wrong thing. Okay, so I'll go to this. I'll share this, then this will be the last one. If I can find the bloody thing. No, I don't even know what I'm doing. What am I doing, Wally? There it is. Bear with me. So, you would be surprised. I think that we could start a competition right now to see which country has got the worst leadership. It is shocking. It is absolutely shocking, the crap that is going on over here in Western Europe. It is just unbelievable. It is, as far as I can tell, the political parties aren't even trying to hide that they are just out to take money off everybody. They just don't even care anymore. They're just run by these rich people who have no concept of life for normal people. These people have been rich their entire lives. You know, it's like, it's just ridiculous. I don't understand. Butler, thank you very much, buddy. Take it easy. It is absolutely shocking. Well, Trudeau's pretty bad as well, but the stuff that is going on in the UK is unreal. Now, you have to remember, guys, I am in Ireland, but I am north of the border, so we are controlled by the UK government. Okay, so not that they want us or want anything to do with us, but this, and it shows. But this is what, Rob, how's it going? This is what we're stuck in at the minute. Okay, so but they basically just cut all the taxes on the rich and increase the taxes on the poor. That's what they did. Pete, yeah, you could. It's crazy. And what sort of what sort of crack is going on in Canada now? You see, I don't watch the news. I just stopped watching the news a long time ago. Over 10 years ago. I tell you what happened was when the first recession, when the big recession came in 2009, myself and Siobhan, who's my wife, we had never really taught a lot about money before. We had never really been that concerned. We didn't. I think we were just about to have our first child, so it was starting to be a bit of a concern, and we were starting to think about it. And basically, what we'd do, we'd get up in the morning, we'd turn the radio on, and we'd be in and out of the house, and the radio would always be on in the background and stuff like that. And I just realized once that everything that was on the radio, everything was recession. There's no money. We're all going to die. The world is going to end. My bum is going to fall off. You know, my nose is on fire. All this sort of crap, right? So you're there, and you're listening to this day in, day out, and it seeps into you. Just seeps into you, right? Yes. So it's like, it's, and it was starting to come up in our conversations, and we were starting to go back and forward about money a bit and about spending and stuff like this, and we were starting to get on to each other about it. And I was like, I says, right, that's it. I've had enough of this. I have had enough of this recession. We have to do something about it. So I unplugged the radio and I put it up in the attic. Job done. Don't listen to the radio in the car. Don't listen to the radio in the truck. Don't listen to the radio here. We don't watch the news. Don't do anything like that, because it's all bullshit. All of it. All of it. It's all meant to control us. That's what I think, right? They tell us what we want to hear. They tell us what they want us to hear. That's it. A lot of the times you're reading between the lines. Do you know what I mean? So, man. And here's the thing: we stop worrying about it. Worrying about something is not going to change anything. Worrying about something that's happening tomorrow is not going to change what's going to happen tomorrow, but it's going to ruin what's happening today. Okay. It's very easy for me to say that, but that is a very hard thing to live by. Very, very difficult. So, guys, I don't know. The internet is a great thing, but everything has two sides. Everything has two sides, so you can get as much information as you want, but is it real information? Or is it just some crap that somebody is feeding you? So this is what you got to figure out. Unless you're actually standing there in the trenches, watching it unfold yourself. So it's like, I don't see. It's right. It's like this, right? They're talking about how everything is so expensive and how everything is just going to be more and more and more and more expensive, right? And nobody's going to be able to afford this, and we're all going to freeze, and the winter's going to be horrific, and the world is going to end, and the polar bears are going to eat your children, right? But is it filtering down to anybody yet? Right? So it's not really filtering down to us yet. But then we haven't gone to buy fuel for the winter. Diesel is expensive, right? Diesel is expensive, but diesel has been expensive all year, and diesel expensive in Ireland is always bloody expensive. So that is the only thing that we can see now. At the moment, I am not buying lumber. I'm not buying building materials. I'm not doing anything like that, because I don't have a building project. I don't have any of those things on. I don't have the money to have one of those on. Do you know what I mean? So at the moment, I am not feeling that pinch, except for transport costs. That's it. Like, what is it like in your countries at the minute? Let me know. Tell me in the comments, guys. What is it like? Can you already feel it? I think diesel's like 190 something here a litre. Jesus Christ. I think a bag of coal has gone up to like £15 or something like that. Set up my own sawmill. Yeah. Well, I have an Alaskan mill down there. A really, really bad Alaskan mill. I would like something better. It's just the problem I find with Alaskan mill is that you need a really big bar on your chain. If you don't have a really big bar on your chain, you're left with very little working space. So I would need at least a 28-inch bar, and I could only run it on the 181, which isn't a lot of power, guys. Petrol station ran out of fuel today. Like, they're talking here about rolling blackouts. They're talking here about not having enough energy to supply everybody. How does that even work? How can you not have enough energy for a country? The only, like, is demand outstripping production? I don't understand that. I don't know how come last year they have enough energy for the country? Is it because they can't afford the fuel to run the power stations? Is that what it is? Enlighten me here, guys. I don't know the answer. This is why I'm asking. So Marlon, thank you very much, buddy. Thank you very much. You know, it's just all a little bit weird. Like we have wind turbines everywhere. They're all over the place. You know, maybe it's time. Why not? Why not, Chevy? All the time. Okay, getcha. Like like back in the day, right? In the States and stuff like that, every farm had a wee windmill, right? Was the windmill, was that running a water pump, or what was it doing, right? If every farm 100 years ago had a little windmill, why can't every little house have its own little windmill now, run its own little generator? You know, maybe it is time to seriously start looking at these alternative energy things if that is going to be the case. There's a water pump. Okay. So it's just, I don't get it. I don't get how they can come up with this stuff. Oh, you know, all right, Benjamin, sorry. Yeah, home power banks. Are they illegal? How much is the Emergency Act inquiry going to cost? Yes, Benjamin. That's what yeah. That Emergency Act was absolutely insane. Guys, do you ever watch Russell Brand? Do you ever watch Russell Brand on YouTube? He's got a very good YouTube channel. He used to be an English comedian. He's got a really good channel. He's not very opinionated on it. I don't think. No, he sort of is. He sort of is. But he goes through the facts. He looks at stuff. I like it. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But guys, you know, I'm trying to see a picture here, right? I'm trying to see a picture of where all this doom and gloom that they are saying is going to happen. Is it actually happening? How can, right? And if it is actually happening, how? How is it happening, right? How has stuff become so expensive? Like, what is the reasoning behind it? Why does a sheet of chipboard or OSB, you guys call it, why has it gone from $20 to $100? Like, what has increased in between those two figures? Like, it is, how can something increase that much? Yeah, that would be crap for people in RVs, wouldn't it? You know, like, this is what I don't understand. Like, they said this time last year, they said the prices of oil and fuel was going to increase by 50% after Christmas. Like, what was that increase for? Why? Like, is all the stuff running out? Do they have to charge more for it? Is that what it is? It's just a bit crazy, guys. I'm looking for a reason. I'm looking for a reason. That's what I'm looking for. And I can't find one. I can't find a viable reason. Okay. What do they want us to do? Am I just being an absolute conspiracy theory nut, right? Or are they pushing us towards something? Are they? Uh, Greed is a massive part of it, shapeshifter. And, you know, and I often do think that if there was no greed in the world, it would be a remarkably different place. You know, greed is responsible for a lot of crap, a lot of crap. So, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, my day-to-day life is not affected that much. as except for the diesel prices, the fuel prices. You know, I am burning my own wood, so that's a thing. You know, and it's funny. People have been talking to me a lot more about it. You know, about firewood. Normal people who are coming up to me and saying, "Oh yeah, and what about this firewood thing? So you're doing firewood and stuff like that all the time." But here is the thing: firewood and the rise in fuel costs will destroy the trees. They'll destroy the environment because everybody will be cutting down trees. But surely, Rob, production has to have caught up by now. Do you know? Like they said during lockdown, diesel prices fell, oil prices fell to their lowest, right? Because there was massive amounts of oil reserves because all this oil and fuel was being produced and nobody was using it. So where did it all go? Human, how's it going, buddy? It's called the Great Reset. COVID-19, the Great Reset. I'll have a look at that later. It's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. So what you guys are saying is that, yeah, people are going to be into the forests. People are going to be hacking down trees, and people are going to be killing themselves. That's the way that's going. Go for it, buddy. Put her in the comments. So, Alistair, that is a really good point. That is a really good point. There's that saying, hard times make hard men make soft times make soft men. Isn't that it? Isn't that the cycle of life, isn't it? Isn't that the way it goes? So to talk about love it, Randy. You just come in there, boy. You just rock the boat. Ah, bugger, Randy. Yeah. Yes, Mark, I would agree with that. Isn't that what they're talking about? Where you know, so the super rich got ultra rich during COVID, during all these lockdowns. The guys that control all these media outlets, the guys that control all these the Amazons and the PayPals and the stuff like that, and the Facebook and all that. And these people got so bloody rich and powerful because everybody relied on them. That, you know, are they trying to continue this? Isn't that what they call what is that? Where everybody gets paid a living wage and stuff like that? No problem, Randy. Cheers, buddy. I don't know, but I don't know. I'll have to read more about this Great Reset. Well, this is it. There's the chaos theory as well, isn't there? That every good civilization must collapse. Every civilization will reach a peak, and it will collapse. Has the human race reached its peak? That's what I want to know. Yes, exactly, Randy. Exactly. You know, right. I was watching something. No. Woodcutter! How's it going? I can't see that now. What's the book called? The Fort or COVID-19, The Great Reset? Jesus Christ. 16 quid for a book? I don't need a tin hat, you see. This is the thing. That's an expensive book. Jesus Christ. That's the, I think you can only get that book in the States. You can only get that book in the States, guys. Where did you see that book? Oh, I'd never read it on a PDF, Simon. I would never read it, but thanks for the offer. I would need to get a book in my hand to read it. But listen, this is what I don't know, right? That is what I don't know. That is what I need to look a wee bit more into that and figure out what is going on with that. In the meantime, guys, we just got to keep on the path. That's it, right? Our own path, not the path that people are pushing us down. So, you know, we continue what we're doing. We move forward with self-sufficiency. And yes, Benjamin, I remember Y2K. Was that the start of it, do you think? You move forward with self-sufficiency. Try and get the firewood in. Keep going on that line, guys. You know, it's just one less thing to worry about. Like, everybody is telling me at the minute that bags of firewood, and this is crap firewood. This is not even what I would call firewood. Softwood, you know, not even larch or anything like that, but the really crap Sika spruce, and it's gone from $2.50 a bag to $5.50 a bag. You know, yeah, exactly, Rob. So this is, what else can we do? Stockpile food, stockpile water, stockpile ammunition. That's I know this guy from Montana who I went over and stayed with him, and I would be emailing him back and forward. Woodcutter, I'm in Ireland, and I would say, oh, you know, what are you doing with yourself? Oh, he says, oh, I put all my money in precious metals. He says, this guy was a bit of a prepper. Lived in Montana, spent his whole life in the woods, you know, shooting and camping and stuff like that. And he said, yeah, I'm putting all my money in precious metals. Yeah, brass and lead. Woodcutter, you're very welcome to the channel. Where are you from? So I laughed, and then I went, what's a moon rock? What's a moon rock? He, you know, and I laughed, and but he was serious. You know, he was making a joke, but he was serious. So good guy, really good guy. Taught me an awful lot about being in the outdoors and stuff. So guys, look, what more can I say? We're an hour into it at this stage. I just want to say, I got some more stuff. Woodcutter, it's very sparse. It is. We are what I would class as a green desert. We live in a country that people would say, really, pallets are like, even pallets are scarce. You know, I scrimp and I beg and I get. I don't use coal, or I would use oil, but not a lot. So I burn all my own wood. That's what I use most. 90% of our fuel is wood, except for the gas for our stove, and we would have kerosene for our boiler at the back. Excuse me. the kerosene boiler would heat the radiators, so or the fire heats the radiators as well. But guys, it is getting harder and harder to get wood. Okay, so it's a pain in the arse. So basically, you know, it's always a hook. I'm always searching for wood, and a large part of the channel is that. And you'll find sometimes that the channel, there's no decent wood videos for a long time because I don't have anything. So I'm not cutting any decent wood or splitting any decent wood. Then all of a sudden there'll be like 20 videos in a row because all I'm doing is cutting firewood. I think they do that other places as well, but that would be stinking. That would be rank, wouldn't it? I don't know if it can be anything. I would say so, human. I would say so. It's going to be, you know, if we get a hard winter, but Ireland's very temperate, you know, so we never get that hard a winter. Be wet. The arse stop. Gray area. It's a gray area. I'm not sure. When I was living over in the west of Ireland, well, the peat in Ireland is only a west of Ireland thing. So they would have. We were never told to stop cutting the bog, but in places like Galway, and in the Midlands, where they actually have one of the power plants runs on peat as well. I know, by every bloody one of them, human, every one of them. This is going to be the problem, you know. So be interesting to look at the statistics in February and see how much over Christmas chainsaw accidents increased. You know, what can you do, guys? Look, thank you very much. It has been, as always, it has been excellent. Thanks for being here. You'll be going out to burn firewood and coming home with a big bag of arms. It has been excellent, guys. Thank you very much for your input. Listen, we will, somebody who is better at this stuff than me, figure out where we went last on our firewood journey, and we'll see if we continue it. What we will do is, guys, I'll look into this great reset a wee bit more. If any of you guys have a copy of it and you want to send it across to me for a read, much appreciated, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, thumbs up, everybody. Stay frosty.